Hey everybody, we're going to start a new piece of music today, so we're going to kind of learn the first couple parts of it. The song is should have a copy, there's a link to the music actually in the description along with playthrough videos for what we're going to learn today. The Top Gun anthem, the movie Top Gun in the 1980s. Personally, it's like my favorite movie of all time. It's got a very iconic theme song to it from the movie soundtrack, and it's based off one guitar line. So it's just kind of a cool thing that we can play in different spots on the neck, so I've put it down into a nice easy position for you guys. But the other reason we're going to do this one is it's all based around the major scale. Specifically starting out, it'll be the C major scale. So like normal, we're going to break it down, and we're going to learn today is going to go over part A and part B. There's only 3 parts of the song. C happens once in the middle, but it's mainly repeating part A and part B. Part B is the same as A, except it's in a different key. So we're going to learn to shift everything up into a different key, and it'll stay in the same scale, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a couple minutes, okay? So, starting out with part A, we're going to just break it down like we usually do. This is one where the phrasing doesn't quite lend itself to breaking it down by the bar lines. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to play the first bar and a half. So if everyone kind of follows along with the music, and I will aim so you can see what I'm doing. The first little phrase we're going to learn to start out the song is this. I'll play that again. So it starts on the first fret. Their notes in this sequence are our first fret on our B string, which is C, the third fret, which is D, open high E string, F, G. Okay, so remember our C major scale we talked about is all of our natural notes. So this is just a continuation of it going up an octave, starting at C, where we end usually playing our scale as opposed to at our lower C. So once again, I'll just play that first part. So it starts out here. And that is the first 6 beats of the song. So the first bar and then the first half of bar 2. Now I'm going to play the next section, which will be until the end of bar 4. So we're going to play second half of bar 2 and then bars 3 and 4. So it'll sound like this. And again. Okay, so work on those parts separately like we've done on all of our songs, and then we're going to put them together, and that phrase together will sound like this. Now, the second half of part A is going to sound like this. I'll play it together, and then we'll kind of just break down the ending, so you'll hear why. Okay, so if we look at the music, we actually have bars 1, 2, and 3 are the same as bars 5, 6, and 7 of this section. So the only difference is that last, the ending of the little lick. So the first time we're ending with, and then when we play it the second time through, we're just going to end on our third fret of our high E string. Okay, so I'll play all part A together now, so you can hear what it sounds like together. And that is part A. Okay, now we're going to move on to part B. So part B will sound very similar to part A, and that it's also the same notes on a major scale, except we're now shifting up to F sharp. So instead of being in C, so our first fret on our B string, we're going to repeat the same pattern, starting at the 7th fret on the B string. Now, the note choices will be the same, so the distance between the frets and everything, the pattern will look the same. However, when we played it in the first position, we had this open high E string, okay? When we shift up to the 7th fret, we don't have an open string anymore. So we're going to have to use the 6th fret. So we're going to be playing one note kind of behind where the rest of the pattern was when we were playing it down here, okay? So again, same pattern repeats, except we're going to play it up higher on the neck. So I'm going to play those parts again separately for you so you can hear what it sounds like. We'll put it together. So from the start of part B, it sounds like this. Sorry, one note higher. Okay, so again, let's break that down into smaller pieces. There's a little more stretching involved in this one because we have that 6th fret note and we have 9 coming right after it. So we have to do a bit of a jump. So I wouldn't recommend trying this with one finger. I'll try it right now and you can see how I'll demonstrate how it's kind of not the best idea. It's a lot of hand movement around back and forth, okay? I use actually all 4 of my fingers for it usually just because that's what's comfortable for me. However, even just using 2 fingers or if you can get 3 in there will be very helpful. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. We're going to play the same parts that we did for part A here for part B when we take it apart. So we're going to play bar 9 in the first half of bar 10, so the first bar and a half of part B, and then we're going to play up until the halfway mark, and then we're going to repeat it again. Okay? So the start of part B, the first bar and a half sounds like this. And again. So I'd recommend really just trying to get comfortable with that phrase and getting used to moving between your 6th fret and your 9th, okay? And also get used to where the 7th fret is. So when we do shift up, you kind of have an understanding. So you can see the inlays on the guitar. I know we've talked about this a little. Some guitars have one here at the 3rd fret. Mine does not. However, 5, 7, 9, and you have 2 at 12, okay? So if you have one at the 3rd, then you'll know that your 3rd inlay here is your 7th fret. If you don't have one at your 3rd fret, it'll be your 2nd inlay as the 7th fret. Also, I don't know if you can really see this. You can see the black dots here. Those are the same spots. You can kind of see under here, there's 2. Get down there at the 12. So when you're looking down, instead of having to look over the front of the guitar to see the inlay, that dot will help guide your hand, okay? Because that's going to be the tricky part. Combining the two will be going from down here up to here, okay? So I'm going to play the second half of the first lick of part B, and then we'll just kind of go through it again, okay? Again. So we'll put those two pieces together. And now, the second half of part B, exactly the same as part A, ends with modulating up to that higher note. So it's going to sound like this. And now, in part B, it goes back in part A again. Okay, so the structure of the song is A, B, A again, part C once, and then A, B, and it ends on A as well. So we're going to go up to part C today, and then we'll learn part C next week, and just kind of have the ending of the final time of part A is a tiny bit different. But the rest of the song repeats itself pretty much note for note. So now we learned part A, we've learned part B. Excuse me, we can put it together and play the whole thing through. So I'm going to have playthrough videos below with links and descriptions again. The music is below, and if you have any questions, feel free to try to contact me. Leave a comment in the video or whatever, and I can help you out. Okay. Hopefully that helps. And next week, I said, we'll learn the rest of the song. Okay. Bye bye.